On tonight's CTV News, Christchurch police are cracking down on family violence. Environment Canterbury is taking a proactive approach to Waimakariri River flood protection. And we sink our teeth into New Zealand's healthiest burger. This is CTV News, I'm Grant Mangan. Christchurch Police and Aviva are pairing together to work to reduce family violence in the city. Joelle Bautista with the story.
In New Zealand, every 7 minutes, police are called to a family violence situation. It's estimated only 18% of family violence is reported.
We're dealing with family violence situations that are, or family violence episodes that are sometimes ingrained, intergenerational, and we're just trying to real innovative and new ways, working with our partner agencies to try and sort of reach these people and change their lives for the better.
Pairing together with Christchurch's Aviva, signing a letter of agreement, a commitment to work together to reduce family violence.
What it means is that we're much more likely to overcome the problem of family violence by working together than by working alone. As I say, we need to maintain that really important conversation, but we need to be encouraging people to engage with those solutions.
Nicola Woodward says it's not an easy problem to tackle, but Christchurch organisations do have solutions.
An example is our reach out service, which we in partnership with the police are now rolling out into Christchurch, using those police incident reports of family violence to contact men who have been using violence in their families.
Inspector Ross Linnett says it's about educating people and spreading awareness.
Advising people about family violence, that then means that they can intervene and assist and support people if they get the opportunity to.
The underlying issue for many crimes committed, both Inspector Linnett and Nicola Woodward agree, reducing family violence will have a significant impact overall.
Family violence is a very, very big problem in New Zealand. It's the underlying cause of much of the crime in the country, and certainly if we were able to overcome the problem of family violence in New Zealand, we would significantly reduce many other forms of crime.
A problem found behind closed doors and hard to fix, ingrained into generations, into culture.
It's an ongoing problem, I believe. All the research tells us that it's hugely underreported, and yes, we have had increases in reports, but that's a good thing as far as we're concerned.
Hoping to encourage a community conversation.
To a great extent, family violence has become quite normalised in our society, and there's a lot of socialisation around violence. People grow up in violent homes and often don't recognise that violence is taking place, and because of that, there's a high tolerance of it, which obviously we want to overcome.
Fighting for change, and anti-violence marches held in Christchurch on White Ribbon Day.
Now, White Ribbon is about men particularly standing up against violence to women and children. And that's what it means. But it's an opportunity for all people to say that it's not okay to be violent in any way, shape or form.
The White Ribbon March begins at 9:45 a.m. on the 25th of November. Joelle Bautista, CTV News.
The Waimakariri River is undergoing significant changes to help against the risk of a major natural disaster.
Protecting Christchurch from a $1 billion disaster. Environment Canterbury's flood protection work at the Waimakariri River is halfway through its decade-long construction.
It's very significant because it essentially keeps the bigger floods out of Christchurch and Kaipoi.
The $40 million project protects against the risk of major flooding.
The primary banks are designed for a 1 in 500 year flood, which is in the order of 5,500 cumecs. The secondary bank system is designed for a 1 in 10,000 year event, and that's in the order of 6,500 cumecs, so they're quite large floods.
That's more than 10 times the normal volume of water flowing down the Waimak River. Using more than 16,000 tonnes of rock sourced from Oxford in this 1.2 kilometre stretch, workers are building a rock lining.
On this particular project, yes, the rock is going through the river berm, and that is to stop the river eroding the berm back to the stop bank. The stop bank is on our left here, not very far away, so the rock will stop the erosion of the berm and protect the bank.
Barely visible once completed, most of this project will be hidden underground.
Most of it you won't see, you'll just see a little bit of rock on the surface, but it's still there in case it needs to do its job to stop the erosion.
The 10-year development provides 2 layers of flood protection, focusing on stopping the river's banks from breaking. But it's unbalanced. Environment Canterbury owns the land bordering the south side of the river, allowing a secondary bank to be put in place collecting floodwaters and diverting them to the Waimakariri River should the primary system fail.
On the north side, we don't have that option because most of the land is freehold land, and therefore to balance up the level of protection on both sides, we're upgrading the north bank stop banks, using rock, making them stronger to balance up the protection on the north side and south side.
ECAN are confident that at the end of the 10 years, the $40 million project would have been worthwhile.
Until we get a flood of that sort of magnitude, we don't really know, but it should be fine, should be okay.
The project moves into the next phase of development next year, upgrading the stop banks at McLean's Island. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
And staying with Environment Canterbury, the organisation is proposing strict changes to nutrient levels, which will change the way local farmers work. Emma Cropper has more.
The future of farming is in the hands of technology in order to help clean local waterways.
We're seeing a lot of Canterbury farmers grapple with a real change in kind of farming to limits, having to manage nutrient loss off their properties on top of everything else they used to manage on their farms.
These graphs are a forward-thinking tool to help local farmers comply to ECAN's strict rules.
If you are concerned about compliance, you can actually have your trigger line set in there so that you can actually tell how close or not you're getting to your trigger. And if you had a consent with a limited groundwater on it and you knew that towards the end of the season you were getting close to that trigger, then you could be a little bit more judicious, I suppose, with the use of water.
The Canterbury Water Management Strategy addresses water quality in the urban and rural areas. Under the plan, farm environment plans will become compulsory, making major changes around farm practices and thinking for farmers. Bill Bayfield, ECAN's chief executive, says upcoming nutrient limits is concerning local farmers.
I think there are farmers still struggling with the fact that nutrient limits are coming and struggling with how they're going to manage to those and wondering just how that's going to pan out for them.
Which means these high-tech water measuring systems will be used just as much as the milking shed, helping farmers track their property's water levels. North Canterbury's Claire Mackay's 220-hectare property milks more than 880 mixed-breed cows. Her property is recognised as one of the farms embracing the changes. It's consented for 86 hectares.
Which is quite a large consented area compared to probably the majority of properties.
The farm's now milking more cows, which means they've been forced to upgrade the effluent pond to cope with demand.
We've certainly gone up in excess of 200 cows, so there's more water in the cow shed, and we're required to have capacity to actually have a bit of leeway for storage if there was any malfunction of the pumping, or we couldn't pump out the effluent on the day.
Farmers are being encouraged by ECAN to begin tracking their farm's nutrient levels ahead of the proposed changes. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
The plan to revitalise Rangiora reached a milestone today.
The Waimakariri District Council has approved a concept plan for the redesign of High Street in Rangiora. The aim is to revitalise the town centre for its shoppers, visitors and businesses. The key elements of the redesign will be a two-way traffic flow, parallel parking, new footpaths and feature paving at crossing points and places of special interest. New street furniture will also be included. Mayor David Ayres is calling the plan a milestone for the revitalisation of the Rangiora town centre. The strategy plan was first developed in 2010 and following earthquake-induced closures in 2012, the council and local businesses have invested heavily in strengthening and replacing buildings. The mayor says this work, along with the redesigned High Street, will create a strong future for Rangiora. Changes to the traffic flows, parking, footpaths and landscaping along the High Street will start next April and will work in as new buildings are built in the street.
Coming up, meet two local award-winning businesses.
Join Graham Sinclair and the team at Gone Fishing as they bring you great stories, fishing tips and beautiful scenery. Gone Fishing, Friday night at 8:30, right here on CTV.
3799799. Remember the nights, go Blue Star.
Blue Star Taxis has been servicing the Canterbury region for over 80 years. Canterbury owned and operated with the passion for providing safe, reliable public transport in Christchurch to Cantabrians and visitors to our city. Home safe every time with Blue Star Taxis.
We all know the best thing you can do for your body is eat fresh foods in their natural state. The same applies to your skincare. Southern Skin provides a skincare range with fresh, locally sourced ingredients, plus natural preservatives and emulsifiers to produce the best nourishment for your skin to unleash your healthiest complexion. New Zealand olive and aloe skincare for young or old, men, women and children. There is a product in the Southern Skin range for you. southernskin.co.nz.
Potholes. To some, a simple hole in the ground, causing no harm and no concern. But don't let that fool you. Potholes are dangerous. Did you know potholes have been linked to numerous nasty falls and flat tires? So if you have a pothole situation on your property, don't panic. Call the Pothole Repair Company. They'll fix your potholes in a jiffy. So next time you see a pothole on your driveway or in your car park, call the Pothole Repair Company.
Welcome to Caltex Redwood. We're a family-owned business proudly supporting our local community. We're open 24/7 for fuel and shop goods, and we have an amazing team of people ready to help you. Save at least 6 cents per litre using AA Smart Fuel cards. We also offer great value on our LPG bottle fills. We have a full workshop and Bridgestone Tyre Centre. Our mechanics and tyre technicians will get your car sorted. Caltex Redwood. We're just down from St Bede's on Main North Road. Caltex Redwood. What drives you?
Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Wanting to add some vibrance to your home? Or just looking to brighten up your workplace? No matter the occasion, the Hitching Post has something for everyone. Lose yourself in their extensive range of homeware, art, glass and plasma cut metalwork. The Hitching Post is your one-stop shop for great style and quality. So come on down to the Hitching Post, 722 Marshland Road.
Europe in Concert. A new, fantastic international artist performing every week. Saturday evening at 7 p.m, right here on CTV.
One woman with a business idea has scored herself a $15,000 cheque to help push her business forward.
When it comes to shoes, they say one size fits all, but Elizabeth Riark's proving that's wrong. My Killer Heels is a business idea, following worldwide trends for hand-painted wedding shoes. Elizabeth created her first fully custom-made pair for her cousin's wedding.
And then the business kind of developed from there. It sort of started as a bit of a hobby. In the last 12 months, I thought, hey, I'll make a go of this.
Last night, Elizabeth's business became an award-winning idea. My Killer Heels took out the grand prize at the 85K Entree Awards, a student-funded competition encouraging young entrepreneurs to make their mark on the business scene.
It feels very surreal. Can't believe it really happened, but yeah, there's been a lot of hard work to get to this point, so it's pretty exciting of what the future will hold from here.
Elizabeth's painted more than 60 pairs, taking more than 4 hours per shoe. She's been doing all of this alongside of studying.
I thought, well, I can paint and draw and do all that, but I can't actually run a business. So that's why I went back to study to do innovation entrepreneurship, because I thought that would give me those practical skills and knowledge to actually make this a real thing.
But some of these have a personal message. Elizabeth was diagnosed with endometritis at 18.
These have been designed about my story with endometriosis. It's about all my struggles and ups and downs and round and circles, and I suppose a little bit in terms of business as well. $25 from each pair sold being donated to Endometritis New Zealand. And as for how she will spend that $15,000 cheque, I don't know yet. I think it's going to get us to the brand awareness. We really need to start pushing the brand and make sure people know who we are, what we do.
After leaving school in sixth form, this naturally gifted artist is proving you can turn your passion into a career.
I love painting and being creative, so it doesn't really feel like work. So best job in the world, really.
Elizabeth hopes to take her business worldwide, maybe one day taking on the runways at New York Fashion Week. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
As the semi-final for the provincial ITM Rugby Cup draws nearer, there are question marks around who will be wearing the number 10 jersey.
Colin Slade, Tom Taylor or Dan Carter. The question is, who will be starting out in Canterbury's number 10 jersey this Sunday afternoon? After 3 consecutive losses in a row, Canterbury's head coach Scott Robertson will be very careful with choosing this weekend's lineup. Colin Slade and Tom Taylor have both been released by the All Blacks to assist Canterbury Rugby to a third-place provincial title. Tasman defeated Canterbury 38-10 last Saturday night, a painful reminder to rugby fans this is the first time since 2008 the Red and Black will no longer have the Provincial Cup title. Undefeated for 6 years, this season's losing streak has been devastating for dedicated onlookers. If Dan Carter has recovered in time for this weekend's game, head coach Scott Robertson is expected to put him in his dream selection. Training hard for this week's match, the confirmed team is not expected to be announced until Friday. The Canterbury team take on Taranaki and New Plymouth this Sunday.
A Christchurch business has been awarded the title of producing New Zealand's healthiest vegan burger.
A sunflower seed patty, chutney and fresh salad. The Lotus Hut Sun Burger has been titled New Zealand's healthiest vegan burger. Awarded by animal advocacy group SAFE, the team at Lotus Hut are honoured.
Very much so. We're very humbled, very humbled by that, having that accolade put upon it.
Badly affected by the earthquakes, the team were rebuilding their restaurant when the Sun Burger was created.
We would have a staff lunch, which was actually, we would have it in the kitchen, and we would just experiment with different things, and we have a lot of cooks here, and it came about almost just an exploratory search for try to get a nice burger, a really nice vegan burger.
What it's made of is what sets this burger apart. Although vegan is a focus, the Lotus Hut chef says with the number of gluten-free customers rising, the Sun Burger is made with a gluten-free bun.
In the first layer we've got our house-made chutney, which Matt saw me putting on. It's the sunflower seed patty itself, so it's primarily sunflower seeds, so it's a good protein source as well for your vegetarians and vegans. It has tamari, has herbs, has onion, garlic for flavour.
One of Lotus Hut's main focuses is around peace, from the atmosphere of the restaurant to even how the staff prepare the food to serve.
We soak the sunflower seeds so it deactivates the enzyme inhibitor, so it's much more alive food and much more nutritious, much more digestible. Beautiful herbs in there. It's gluten-free as well. We've got vegan cheese.
After 2 of their buildings were destroyed in the earthquakes, the Lotus Hut rebuilt as an offering to a community that has suffered so much.
But particularly for the Lotus Hut, I think it's just having that beautiful, peaceful ambience that the people come in and they really feel, and just being happy to serve and just trying to smile at people and just trying to make them feel very comfortable and relaxed and enjoy their experience.
Their aim is to create a place where people can come, be in a harmonious environment and feel happy.
Straight after the earthquake, people really did feel that sense of community here, and we have a lot of regular customers who know each other as well, and I guess after the earthquake everything was a bit scattered and sort of went in different directions, but people came here and would see friends, and it was really lovely to see that.
Found on Christchurch's St Asaph Street, the Lotus Hut is in the top 5 of New Zealand's best vegetarian-friendly burger places. Joelle Batista, CTV News.
Still to come, the weekly business roundup and your local weather update.
Located at the foot of the Port Hills, Berrymead Golf offers a spectacular location for any occasion. Make a dream wedding a reality with private use of our green function room, outdoor garden courtyard, large marquee and stunning gazebo. Or for your next conference, enjoy the relaxed atmosphere of Berrymead Golf, offering a private, spacious conference room with special deals to make any break a true break. All with customised catering from the Wow Cafe. Ferrymead Golf, 50 Ferrymead Park Drive, right next to the Ferrymead Heritage Park.
Hi, I'm Mark and welcome to Staywell Pharmacy. Whatever the season, Staywell Pharmacy has you covered. As an integrated pharmacy, we stock all the well-known pharmacy medicines, as well as quality nutritional and herbal treatments. Our team of pharmacists and full-time naturopath are here to help you find the products and advice to suit the needs of you and your family. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shands Road in Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
My son's helped me greatly with my independence now that I've got more mobility.
Mum, I've been looking into stand assist chairs from More Mobility. They recline back with a footrest, then when you want to get out of them, they stand you up. You can even sleep on them. More Mobility can bring one out for a free trial. There's even electric beds too. What do you think? For more range and more expert advice, see More Mobility, corner Clarence and Princess Streets off Blenheim Road.
What a difference more mobility makes.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring, moving company.
Oi! The Tiki Tour. Tiki Tour. Tiki Tour.
Kia ora!
Hey, my name's Victoria.
And my name is Nana. Climb aboard the Tiki Tour bus and join in on all the fun.
Every Saturday at 8 here on CTV.
Ka kite.
Enjoy the show.
Now here's Warren Head with your local business update.
I'm Warren Head from headliner.co.nz. Have you ever stopped on Johns Road north of Christchurch and just looked at the flow of trucks going past there and the mixture of them, big reticulated vehicles and the smaller ones scurrying around the city, particularly on that northwest side of town and out on State Highway 1. Now, I don't think anybody stands there and looks at them long enough to count them, but if you did a month ago, there would have been probably a little more volume on the roads than there is now. Now, I don't know how they do this, but the ANZ Bank, in some respects, counts them, and they have a heavy truck index and a light truck index, and sometimes they go in different directions, just as they do on the roads. And so for September, we had some numbers through today saying, well, the heavy trucking index was up a certain amount, and that suggested that there was a slowing of momentum coming through. Okay, still, in a general sense, but the light trucks, they were still busily chundering around town doing their thing. But it's the big trucks to watch out for. They carry all the stuff on board that you and I buy, and they tend to be slowing at the moment. So it's just a signal that maybe somewhere just down the pathway a little bit, there's a little bit of a bump coming. Now, electronic card spending data was out today too, and that was weaker in September. I wasn't surprised at that. It was a big splurge there around about the end of winter. People were buying because things got colder, and also a lot of sales at that time. So a little bit of a message coming through there. And then yesterday morning when I got out of bed and turned on the laptop, there was a video from the IMF, which I stuck on my website on headliner.co.nz. You can go there and take a look at it. And they were forecasting a little bit of a slowing around the world too, particularly in the developing economies. Things are not so good out there anymore. And then there was another statement out about risk. You know, the level of global tension has gone up. We all understand that. So, you know, things are just not quite in sync yet. However, on the local front, we have had some good news. The organisation that supplies fertiliser to the farmers, Ravensdown, has come out with some news that it's going to spend $20 million on a new office block on the main South Road near Hornby. That's a really fast-growing part of town, and that'll enhance it further with a nice single-storey property there. So that'll be something to look forward to as you go past the old works in the future. On the bad side of the ledger today, Heli Pro, the company that runs helicopters around about 8 spots in New Zealand, Mount Cook, Queenstown, Wellington downtown on the wharves, and a base here at Christchurch, they've gone into receivership. things are slow in their part of the world. Their rotors have stopped because they've been grounded by this receivership. But just on a parting note from me and from him, Peter Halkett, the managing director of Kathmandu, the retail chain, he's off. He's leaving the company. He's done a magnificent job, Peter Halkett, in building that business up, rolling out stores across New Zealand and Australia. And he's cashed in his chips to some extent. He's kept some shares, but he sold about 1 million shares. And he walked away with a very big packet there, about $4.5 million to take on a long extended tour. And on that note, I'll just close with a reference to today's stock market. Big news of the day was that Xero, the company that trades at about $20 to $25 a share and fluctuates all over the place in that price range, came out with a revenue number that indicates that it's doing about $132 million of revenue a year, and they've still got $171 million in the bank. So some things are looking up. I'm Warren Head for headliner.co.nz.
Last night, Cantabrians had the pleasure of witnessing a blood moon. A rare occasion, a blood moon is when a lunar eclipse occurs, when the moon passes directly behind the Earth in its shadow. This is an extraordinary event to watch. Hundreds of photos and videos flooded social media into the late hours of the night. The blood moon is not expected to be seen in Kiwi skies again until 2018, which makes me regret staying at my desk inside and never looking out the window. Time now to check out your regional weather.
Kia ora Canterbury, let's take a look at your region's weather. First in Timaru, Temuka and Geraldine, they hit a high of 13. Methven and Ashburton hitting a mild 13 degrees. Rikar, they hit 13. Darfield, Leeston and Ralston, hope you've had a great day, hitting a high of 13. Looking at Lincoln and Christchurch, they hit 13 degrees. Over in Akaroa, a mild day of 13. Moving north to Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley with one of the region's highs, 14 degrees. Further north in Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot, a warm 14. At the top in Kaikoura, they had one of the region's highs with 14. But what's in store for tomorrow? In Timaru, some low cloud at first, but sunny periods increasing during the day with cool northeasterly winds, hitting 4 degrees overnight with a high of 13. Ashburton, early cloud clearing and becoming fine and sunny during the day with scattered high cloud, expected to be cool with northeasterly breezes. 4 degrees overnight, reaching 14 throughout your day. In Christchurch, the usual northeasterly developing for your Friday with some cloud. Expect that to be mostly during the morning. You'll be hitting 4 degrees overnight and a high of 13 throughout the day. Colder, some low cloud at first, but sunny periods increasing during the day with cool northeasterly breezes expected. 13 degrees throughout the day and 4 overnight. And in other areas around the region, Temuka and Geraldine a high of 14. Methven and Rikar cloudy for most parts of the day with a high of 13. Darfield, Leeston and Ralston, a high of 13 and overnight low of 4. Looking now at Lincoln, cloudy with a high of 13. Over in Akaroa, expect some cloud for most parts of the day with a high of 13. Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley expect cloud all day with a high of 13. At the top in Culverden, Hanna Springs and Cheviot expect one of the region's highs with 14. And looking ahead for the rest of Canterbury, fine from Saturday through Tuesday with mostly sunny skies and moderate northeasterly winds. Some high cloud at times, milder next Wednesday with moderate north to northwesterly winds developing and high cloud increasing. And that's all for your region's weather. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
And that's CTV News for Thursday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.